Looking to take your sports knowledge to the next level? Just a fan of wrestling and entertainment? You're in the right place. Welcome to The Show with your hosts, Hollywood JDT and Stuntman Kirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Show. We are here with Michael Gray. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you very much.
Start of the Shazam, Shazam, the TV show. Let's talk about that experience real quick. Obviously Shazam's now out and, remade as a movie, and it's back out and, kind of kicking off that whole DC movie cinema kind of world that they're doing. But you really started it out playing Billy Batson as the kid. How was that experience?
It was fun. It's an interesting scenario, actually. I got out of acting college about 4 or 5 years before Shazam was on, and every interview I went out on to be a professional actor, I got. And my first series was with Brian Keith and Shelley Fabre, and we were in Hawaii shooting it. And because of the series' popularity, I was on the front cover of all these teen magazines all over the world, basically, and I was signed to a 7-year contract. Well, after the first year, they decided to change the format of the show, and my character was taken out. So now I'm unemployed. So a little while later, I get a call about doing an episode of Brady Bunch. I said, fine, let's do that. 1 episode, I'm unemployed. And I get a call to do a show called Shazam on Saturday morning. No interview, no audition, just go out and talk to them. They want you on the show. So I go out there, I sit down. Next thing I know, I'm getting ready to shoot a series. So it ran for 3 years, and a very cool superhero show. I love doing every minute of it. And I got to work with Les Tremayne, who was a star before there was television. He was a radio star, one of the best. So I'm working with a guy named Les Tremayne. It was very cool. And the show ran its course. It was only 3 years. We don't know why they took it off the air. We think it got too expensive, basically. But now there's an amazing resurgence in the show, which is just totally blowing me away.
With that, the resurgence coming up, I'm assuming has a lot to do with the movie. And that, I'm assuming you were at the premiere, you got to see the movie and everything?
I didn't go to the premiere.
Okay.
I did get to see the movie. Back in 2012, I was down at San Diego Comic-Con, and I was talking to one of the executive producers of Shazam at that point. He's no longer executive producer anymore, but we were talking about it and possibility of me having a cameo in the movie when it came out. Well, years later, they changed executive producers, changed the director, whatnot, and they came up with a different concept. So there was no cameo for me. I did go see it. I enjoyed it. It was very entertaining. It was different than our show, but why not? It was a different scenario, different show. It was cute. It was very funny. I enjoyed every minute of it. And what happened in 2012, I was down in San Diego, like I said. I was with Warner Brothers, and we were promoting the release of the DVD. They bought the rights to Shazam and released it in 2012, so I was down there with them promoting it. And then years later, I started getting a few job offers here and there, doing a couple episodes of Archer and doing a few things here and there, whatever. Did a couple of movies called Surge of Dawn and Surge of Power, or Revenge of the Sequel. They're spoofs on superheroes. And now there's a major resurgence because of the movie. DC Universe is streaming Shazam on the internet. And they're doing it in HD, so the clarity and the quality is amazing. So because of that, I did a couple episodes of DC Daily, and now I'm back working again doing the con circuit and more episodes of Archer. So,
and how? I want to talk about Archer. How has that been? How's that? I'm assuming doing recording, you did your own, voiced yourself on a few episodes on that. How much different is it doing the voiceover compared to acting, regular, it's you on camera compared to you recording your voice?
It's really all the same, except you can wear shorts and a t-shirt to go to work, and you don't have to put makeup on. But I love doing voiceovers too. It's a lot of fun. I just did 2 more. Adam Reed, the executive producer and creator of Archer, was a Shazam fan. And I had not watched Archer before, but back about 3 years ago, I think, or 4 years ago, my son was watching Archer, and Archer's out by the pool with Lana, and they're talking, and he has amnesia, and he said, what was the guy's name who starred in that TV series called Shazam? There's a pause, and they remember. He said, "Oh yeah, it was Michael Gray. He played Billy Batson." So my son called me and said, "They just mentioned you on Archer." So I contacted Adam Reed. He said, "I'd love to have you on the show. You want to do it?" I said, "Sure." So I did 2 episodes back in 2015. Just did 2 more. It's a fun show. It's all because of Shazam, because he was a Shazam fan, and I'm playing TV's Michael Gray on the show from Shazam.
Which has to be kind of fun to be able to be you, you know, and
Yeah,
kind of go that route. And
I'm playing myself, which is a lot of fun. You know, I don't have to do a lot of character study, obviously. I know who I am. But when Adam first talked to me, he said, "Will you say anything we ask you to say on the show?" I thought about it for a minute. I thought, what does that mean? I figure it's on
that can
TV.
be a loaded question.
Yeah, exactly. A loaded question, but it's on TV. It's family entertainment, so I'll do it. I didn't know they were going to have me in a bodysuit where you could see my organs. They did. I was playing a Slim Goodbody in an outfit, but still TV's Michael Gray. And I'm working again. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun.
How, you know, being a part of the superhero TV show in the 70s, the world, you know, whether it's just technology or the way kind of people see entertainment and, you know, want to get it and everything, to superhero movies today and even the shows today, you mentioned like they kind of canceled it probably because of like the budget and the cost of it, where now, you know, even with inflation, like the budgets are huge for TV on, you know, superhero stuff. How has it been kind of growing up through that, seeing how much that's changed from, you know, your show then to where it's at now with it?
It's pretty outrageous, to be honest with you. I mean, we had special effects back then. They were the best. And now you look back at them and you go, geez, those are funny special effects. This changed, obviously, and the budget's now, I think the budget for Shazam, the movie, was like $200 million. Pretty outrageous, but the quality of the work is phenomenal. What they're doing now with the Avengers and Black Panther, the stuff is just amazing what they're doing now. The quality of the pictures and TV stuff now, it blows me away what they're doing. I did what I did at the time. That's the way it was, and I like to do some of this now because it's a lot more fun.
So let's talk about that. Being a part of Denver Pulp Culture Con, it's Sunday. It's a third day of the con, and you know, Saturday was a huge day. Lots of people, tons of traffic. Friday was a big day. But you know, you mentioned you're doing kind of the circuit. How has it been being a part of the circuit overall, and just what do you kind of like most about doing all these con events?
Well, honestly, what I really enjoy most about it is meeting the people. Because I've always said, if it wasn't for the people, the shows wouldn't be on.
Right.
If it wasn't for the people, the cons wouldn't be here. So I just enjoy meeting the people, seeing their kids dressed up in little outfits. It's adorable. But what's really heartwarming to me, I meet so many guys or women that come up to me, they're in their 50s, who grew up watching the show. And they tell me these stories, sometimes they bring me to tears. I was abused, I had problems, I was bullied, I was picked on, my parents were alcoholics, my father used to beat me, and my escape was Saturday morning TV with a bowl of cereal, watching your show, and learning from the show, because back then each one of our shows had a moral value. We need that nowadays, more good moral values out there for kids to see. So when people tell me that, and it's happened here all 3 days, I've had people that tell me that, you know. One guy said, I tried to commit suicide several times because I was different than other people. And people picked on me for it, but I got to watch your show, and you helped me make it through life and make me the man I am today. And I hear things like that, and it almost brings me to tears, because when I'm doing the show, you don't think about that.
Right.
You know, we had a psychiatrist on the show, child psychiatrist, who would make sure everything was appropriate and the morals were appropriate and nothing was inappropriate for kids to watch. But to think about kids that are watching the show, they have these problems, and now you're meeting them as adults, makes you feel really, really good.
You said, you know, we need that more today. Fully agree with you on that. You know, like I have 4 kids, you know, 2 from a previous marriage, 2 step kids, 1 on the way, and it scares me, you know, with that, just with the way the world is today and how things are. How do you think, you know, knowing that Hollywood is, I've always said, you know, when I went through school and that and had to, it's really easy to take the line of, well, TV is not the role model, the parent's the role model. And that's true in your day-to-day, but there's so much influence from the day-to-day life, from watching TV, from watching movies and everything, that you can't erase and take away. I don't think that would be a feasible thing in 2019. But what do you feel like, how can that come back, I remember watching Saved by the Bell, Boy Meets World, shows like that where I watch it now and I watch back and it's like you see the moral of the story and it's kind of cheesy to a way because of how obvious they're, what they're saying, don't do this, and it's very obvious. But you watch TV now and there's some of those things there, like we're trying to tell you not to do this, but it's so hidden in the art, maybe is the best way to put it, that it's hard to kind of come across. What do you think is kind of the best way to get Hollywood in general back to that point where it's good, and people can learn from it while still kind of maintaining where it's become?
Well, it's funny. I had a lady come up to me today. She was in her 80s, I would think. And she had tears in her eyes saying, I used to watch your show. And she's past that age group, but she used to watch it. And she's telling me that we need more shows like this back on the air again so her grandchildren can learn how to grow up to be appropriate adults, not like the me generation, gimme, everybody owes me something. We've got to change the formats if possible. The problem is I don't think it's a money maker.
Right.
And that might be an issue right there. But if she was telling me to put more things on TV, like Father Knows Best or whatever, back on TV, good moral values, people want their children to watch. Because there's a generation out there now that skipped a lot, that don't respect authority. I love watching superhero movies. I go to them all the time. But if I don't see a superhero movie, I go see a comedy.
Right.
Because I like to laugh. But somehow, some things have to be turned around to go back the way it was back in the good old days. I'm a little conservative when it comes to that. I raised my children that way, the way I was raised. Respect your elders, respect authorities, respect the clergy, respect the police, your teachers. How do you get back to there? I don't know. And a lot of people running the industry right now are in their 50s. People that watch my show are now in their 50s in the industry, and they want that. So maybe it will happen. We'll have to see.
Well, and I think that will be kind of the most, because I do think there has been some shows. There's, This Is Us is one, I don't know if you've seen that one, that does have a lot of that family kind of value to it and is really a good show where they put some of the, Hollywood stuff to it, but there's still a good morale to the story and everything. So hopefully, like you said, hopefully with people in charge that can kind of come back and that can kind of be a part of it. What kind of projects do you have come, in the works right now and, stuff kind of coming up?
Well, like I said, I just did 2 episodes of Archer. They're going to be on in July. And I did an episode of I did a short film called Surge of Power, Revenge of the Sequel. And I did another one called Surge of Dawn. So Surge of Power is a spoof on superheroes.
Okay.
Surge is an openly gay superhero. And funny stuff, totally funny stuff. Surge of Dawn, which I just did, is a third one. That's going to be released in about 3 weeks. Most of these movies are shorts, and they're just released on DVD or CDs. But Surge of Power, the last one I did, was released in about 8 theaters across the country. But they had cameos in there by like Linda Blair, Lou Ferrigno, Cindy Williams, I think, a lot of celebrities in there, Eric Roberts, who did a lot of guest parts in it because they think it's fun stuff, and it is. So I'm getting ready to do another one of those, and again, I'm playing, and now my character's name is Willie B, which is like Billy Batson. So it's a spin-off again, it's a takeoff on Shazam because it's a superhero movie. So like I said, Lou Ferrigno, superhero, he was in it, I'm in this one. And there's talk I might be in a sequel for Shazam. Right now I've got lined up just more cons, and I'm doing a personal appearance at a film festival down in Louisiana in a few months. So we'll see what happens. I retired. I stopped working in 1976 pretty much because I was typecast. People didn't take me seriously. We can't cast you, you're Billy Batson. I went out for a part in a nighttime soap opera of a psychopathic killer. And the director said, I can't cast you in it. You're Billy Batson. And I said, but you're a director. Don't you understand I was acting? So I'm not Billy Batson. I was playing Billy Batson. So I finally gave it up and did a bunch of odd jobs here and there. And I retired about 2 years ago. And now I'm working again, which is fun. So you got to do what you love in life. That's what it's all about. And that's what I'm doing again now. So we'll see what happens.
So you mentioned the Shazam sequel, possibly having a part to that. If you had to pick, you know, and I'm not sure if there's any, you know, what you can talk about with that, but if you had to pick being, you know, a villain in that or being, you know, one of the good guys, what would your ideal role be if you could cast yourself right now in that spot?
I think I'd like to be a good guy. It'd be funny playing a villain. Because people in the audience, is that Billy Batson? Is that Michael Gray playing the bad guy? That'd be funny. It'd be funnier. But I prefer to play a good guy. I think it'd be fun. I know I saw the Hulk, and I remember Lou Ferrigno played a security guard. He just walked across the screen. And I was waiting for it. And people were waiting for me in Shazam, hoping that I'd be in it. Same with the guys who played Captain Marvel. They're waiting for them too. I would take anything they gave me because Shazam is in my blood, and I would do whatever they gave me.
That's awesome. Where can fans follow you at?
There's 4 Facebook fan pages out there, but my 2 personal ones are Michael Gray Shazam and Michael Billy Batson Gray. And on Instagram, I'm Michael Gray Shazam.
Okay.
So that's where they can follow me. Mostly on Facebook. I do mostly Facebook stuff.
All right. Website?
Website is tvsmichaelgray.com.
Okay. And I did look at that just earlier today, and I love your site. Like, it was very,
Thank you.
It had that very throwback, you know, kind of look to it, and it was awesome. It was nice to go to a website and it be easy. Like, here's what I want to find. Oh, cool, it's right there. But I just wanted to tell you that, like, it was really cool. Like, I opened, I was like, oh, this is like a really cool, like, this is an awesome throwback, and it's just, I loved it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So
I'm a throwback.
Thank you for taking this time. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know, you know, you got fans out on the floor that you want to see and everything, and but truly, thank you for taking this time. Being able to communicate with you, trying to work out this interview. You were a whole different kind of, just a different person to kind of be able to work through that's been in the industry. Most people, it's their agent, and their agent's assistant that you're trying to communicate through. And it truly blew me away when I got the response from you and, you know, heard straight back from you on it. And I just want to tell you thank you. You know, thank you
Pleasure.
for being you and for being, you know, just being an everyday person with all the fans. Like, that truly
I'm just another guy. I'm just a guy who got lucky doing what he was doing, what he loves doing. But I'm not better than anybody else on the floor. I'm just me. And certain actors reach a level in their career where you don't have to go through agents or managers, whatever. I have a manager. I don't have an agent. I don't want an agent. If people want to find me, they can now with social media. And they can find my manager too on IMDb. But I prefer when they come to me and I can talk to them directly. Why not? I'm not going to play any games. You want me, we'll talk, you know. I just love doing it again. And I love interviews like this. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Well, I love this too. This is awesome. This is the whole reason. I mean, one of those reasons for wanting to start this podcast and, you know, wanting to be a part of it. And, you know, this is kind of one of those dream come true kind of opportunities to be able to sit down with, you know, some of the legends of TV and, you know, some of the biggest stars out there. So
there's some cool ones out there right now.
Oh yeah, but you're one of them.
Oh, thank you for that. Since I've been doing this since the late 60s, early 70s, I've gotten to meet some amazing people. And I'm not impressed with a lot of people out there because I don't deal with big egos. And some people in this business have big egos. But I've gotten to meet some people that are truly legends, and it's just blown me away. You know, the legends from the 40s and 50s and 60s. You know, it's amazing. It's fun.
No, and it is. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you in Shazam 2.
We'll see. Hopefully.
I'm going to have to go watch the Archer episodes and kind of see you in those, and we'll keep up with you on it. But
cool.
Thank you for taking this time. I truly appreciate it, and we'll follow up with you soon, I'm sure.
And I'm going to say one thing about this con, particularly this Denver Pop Culture Con. It's the best one I've ever done. It's run so smoothly. Everybody is so nice and knowledgeable. It's honestly the best con I've ever done. And most people agree. They were yelling.
And I know we're kind of wrapping up. That was one of the things I was talking with some of the PR guys, and they were saying, you know, a lot of people still feel like, you know, people in the industry, I guess, still feel like, well, Denver's probably a small con, you know, and it's probably one of the hotel ones. It's not the big East Coast, West Coast, you know, type thing. And that's hopefully what, you know, they've said they hear, you know, compliments just like that from, you know, all the time. And hopefully that continues to grow, and, you know, hopefully it continues just to keep getting bigger and bigger for the fans here, you know, more places for guys to come out and come, you know, interact with the fans, because that's truly an amazing thing to be able to do, and, you know, to be able to do it. And just seeing the people, you know, the cosplay and the kids and everybody, it's really cool to see kids and adults and family just together to come do this. It's
Everybody out there's got a smile on their face. I've done cons, people walk around, they look like zombies. So everybody out there is happy, having a good time.
Well, that's awesome to hear.
Thanks.
Michael, thank you for taking this time.
Thanks,
I truly
Josh.
appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
All right, dude. Take care.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Show with Hollywood JDT and Stuntman Kirk. Want to stay in the know on all things sports, wrestling, movies, and TV? Follow the show on social media at The Show Podcast. If you like today's episode, please leave a review and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on The Show.
This has been a Phonetics production.